What's up, foodies? Thank you so much for all the love you guys gave me on all the videos so far. I'm very thankful for that. Um, Today's video, yes, we're gonna be making something today for you for sure, but there is actually something that I do wanna bring up for you guys. And normally I'm trying to keep politics and social issues out of this, but there is a big thing that's been going around, and it's a thing going around about one of the actors passing away due to depression, and there is a lot of speculations going around about it. A lot of people saying a lot of things. The reason why I'm bringing this up, it's something that's very close to my heart. I actually lost a very, very, very good friend of mine. She was very close to me. She was suffering through depression, and up to today, I have a guilt that I couldn't do enough for her. Um, the reason for bringing it up with everything that's happening, yes, it's great to see that you guys are supporting the person that passed away so much, but by keep on bringing this up over and over and over again for other issues that's related in that industry, might not be related, um, it's hurting their family. You guys, and some people are making fun of this thing. Some people are making fun of depression. Guys, depression is not a joke. It is an illness just like any other illness you were to have. Please don't make fun of it. It's not funny. It's please respect the person that passed away. Respect their family. Depression is something that's not to joke about. If you know someone that's struggling with depression, try to stand with them. Try to help them as much as you can. Sometimes all they need is a listening ear. I have few friends that's still struggling with depression. I'm trying to do everything I can. Shout out to you guys. I'm not gonna use anyone's name right now. Um, I want you to know that I'm here for you. As you need anything, if there is any thought of even ending your life comes into your mind, you let me know. Just give me a call regardless of what time it is, what time of the day it is. I will be there for you. So again, guys, please respect people that suffering through depression. Not a joke. Try to support them. If you can't support them, don't make fun of it. Now that out of the way, for today's recipe, I'm gonna be making something for you guys that's close to everyone's heart. I'm making Jeera Aloo for you guys today. Everyone loves it, not only the elders, but even the kids love eating Jeera Aloo. Aloo is one of those subsies that, regardless of the age, regardless of how much you hate eating all the other vegetables, you love eating aloo. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get to making the Jeera Aloo, and I want to thank you guys for listening to what I had to say about depression. Let's make you some food. Alright guys, so of course we're making Jeera Aloo. So the first thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add some jeera to it. The way I usually add jeera when I'm making Jeera Aloo is I take an ample amount of jeera in my hand, and I crush the jeera like this a little bit in my hand. The reason for doing that, it's gonna open the seeds up a little bit, and by opening the seeds up, what it does is it adds an extra flavor to the jeera. Now as you can see, I'm cooking on a high heat. I have about three spoons of oil in there. We're only gonna let jeera crackle a little bit just so the flavor comes out of the jeera, and that was the reason for breaking it with my hands as well. By doing that, it just opens up the flavor. So we're not gonna let the jeera get dark. Just let it crackle a little bit, let the flavor come out, and then we're gonna start adding spices to it. Now today's recipe, Jeera Aloo recipe, it's a super simple recipe, super quick recipe. We're gonna be done in a few minutes, guys. So now my jeera is at the perfect color that I want it to be. The first thing I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add some hing to it. So I'm adding just a tiny bit of hing. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and add curry pata, and I have 3 dry chilies. Now while that's crackling and opening up the flavors, in my Jeera Aloo I like to use onions and chilies and all that good stuff too. So I'm gonna go ahead and saute my onions as well. Now I have one big onion that's cut over there, long ways. So I'm gonna let my onion just get brown, and then we're gonna start adding other stuff to it. Alright guys, so we're not overcooking the onions and we're not deep frying them either. I only cook my onions for about 30 to 45 seconds on a medium heat. It gets a little bit softer, and then we're going to start adding other stuff to it. So the other thing I'm adding, I have freshly chopped ginger in there, freshly chopped green chili in there. I have used about 1 inch of ginger cube, and I'm using about 2 small chilies. Also, I have about 5 garlic cloves that I've finely chopped. 5 small garlic cloves that I've finely chopped that I'm gonna add in there. Saute them a little bit. Now I know you guys are probably wondering that this guy makes everything with ghee and butter. How come he's using tail today? Now, when we are making, by the way, tail is oil. Now, when we are making some traditional Indian food, it could only be made with certain things, and I think Jeera Aloo is one of those dishes that you have to cook that with oil. It wouldn't taste good with ghee, or it wouldn't have that right taste of it with when you try to cook it with butter. So trying to keep the traditional taste alive and add my twist to it. We're gonna let it saute for a few minutes. Well, not few minutes, about 30 or 45 seconds, just so the garlic, ginger, and chili can get cooked. And then we're gonna start adding some other spices, and we're gonna be all done. Alright guys, so it's been about 45 seconds to a minute. My garlic, ginger, and my chilies are cooked now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add finely chopped tomatoes to it. Now, the traditional dish with Jeera Aloo, you don't add tomatoes to it. Now, the reason why I am adding tomatoes is it's going to give a different flavor to it. It's going to make it a little bit tangy. The tangy taste of tomato comes out. Trust me, try it and you will definitely like this. I'm just gonna let the tomatoes cook for like 20 seconds. We'll add our spices to it, add potatoes, let it simmer, and your Jeera Aloo is gonna be done. Alright guys, so our tomatoes are done. Now we're gonna start adding some spices to it. Now, as you know, I love eating turmeric powder, so I'm gonna use a good spoon of turmeric powder. Now, since we use the green chili, it already has some heat to it, so I'm just using Kashmiri chili powder so it doesn't get too spicy. So about 2 spoons of Kashmiri chili powder just to get some coloring to it. Now, just a half a tablespoon of dhania powder. We're gonna do pinch of garam masala. Now with that, I'm gonna go ahead and so one different thing that I do is I add jeera powder to when I'm making my Jeera Aloo. Traditionally, people don't use jeera powder. I'm using sauteed jeera powder. It's gonna give more flavor, more jeera flavor to the food. And when I was boiling my potato, I used a lot of salt for it. So I'm just gonna add tiny bit of salt, not a lot of salt, so your food doesn't get too salty. Use the salt to your taste. I know everyone has a different taste bud for salt. So that's what I'm doing, and then all I'm doing is just adding one more spoon of oil. Give it a good mix. Now at the same time, before I add my potatoes to it, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and add tiny bit of water to it. And the reason for adding the water is it's always hard to get your spices into the potato, into the boiled potatoes. So adding just a tiny bit of water when you're cooking the potatoes and when you're cooking the food, to have the spices added to the potato, it preserves the color of your Kashmiri chili, so it stays red. And the other thing it does, it all the water would get soaked into your potato, and it would, when you eat your potato, it would not taste bland. So I'm just gonna add the potato, let it simmer for 2 minutes, and your food is gonna be ready. All right, guys. So it's been about I would say about 3 to 4 minutes since I covered the potatoes up. Our food is almost ready. The only two things we're doing now is we're gonna add some freshly chopped dhania, which is the cilantro, and some lime juice. Now the reason for not adding the lime juice before is we already have tomatoes in there, so we're not using that much lime juice in there. And then the second reason is when you add lime juice anytime you're cooking potatoes, before the potatoes get cooked, it would not cook completely. So I'm using about quarter of a piece for lime, lemon, whatever that's available for you, you can use that. And with that, I have some freshly chopped dhania. I'm going to be very generous with my dhania. It just gives you a different flavor when the dhania is added on your jeera aloo. And your food is all done, guys. This is all it takes for getting your jeera aloo done. Alright guys, so this is the final outcome for jeera aloo that I made. Try out the recipe, see how you guys like it. What I'm going to eat this with is I'm going to have some regular rice. I'm going to have my dal fry with it as well. And I'm also going to have some lachha paratha. The recipe for lachha paratha is coming. Be patient, it's definitely going to be there for you. But this is how I like to cook my jeera aloo. I hope you like this recipe. Try it out. Again, thank you so much for all the support, all the love you guys have given me. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing the video, and both to my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. Thank you so much for everything you do. The food is ready. I'm not waiting on you. Have a great weekend.